You already know what time it is. Welcome to the Sister Speak Show. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. But you better call me Sister Speak. Brothers and sisters and brothers, you are listening to the vent session on the Sister Speak Show. Ooh, the vent session where we are able to tell it like a TI is, as if we already don't on every other segment on the Sister Speak Show. But this is where you really get to go ham on it, right? Excuse me, I don't eat pork. Wrong type of description. This is where you really just get to get it out. And the vent session is for those people who have conversations in the car with themselves. Now, you're not crazy. You just need to get that shit out. They got you fucked up at the job. Who they think they trying to talk to? Who they think they playing? One of those type of conversations that you have in the car. You know, the conversations that you have after the first conversation where you should have said what you should have said in the first conversation. This is what the vent session is about for you. What else? When you are in the shower and you're having a conversation, there's nobody else in there but you, your soap of choice, the water, the entire shower ambiance, and that full-fledged conversation you're having with yourself. This is just for the people who don't feel comfortable sharing what they need to share or saying what they need to say because the environment that they're in at the time might be a little hostile. And so, but you still need to say it like it is, right? So this is what it's about. It's about not carrying weight and pain and whatever emotion that you're feeling that has you up against it. It's not letting it dominate you. And it's not allowing yourself to stay silent. It's about exercising your voice with an understanding that you have power, okay? We don't want anyone to walk away from listening to this episode feeling as if they don't have any type of panacea remedy for what they're experiencing. Now, yes, there's a time to speak and there is a time to be quiet. There's a time to embrace and there's a time to refrain. So, respecting time and the fact that he is outside of time, the Most High God, we just have to understand how to balance the conversation, okay? And giving you what you need for those moments when they've got you fucked up. Our show is rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. Okay? This is for the people who have a boss that if she or he, they ain't even got one more time. This is it. You are the judge, the jury, the bailiff, and the executioner. No more. Some of you have rode into work today on a no more movement. Hashtag no more. No more of this, no more of that. No more just having to deal with these old janky employees and customers. Whatever your ranking is in the field, you've got something to say. And you know what? It's not even just about that. The vent session is for me too. I have recorded 2 episodes just within the network that I couldn't even put out because I went hard in the paint and I knew I couldn't put it out. It was strong. How do you spell strong, Sister Speak? Strong. That would be SCRONG. Could you use it in a sentence? No, because you just did. Strong, scrimph. Okay? But seriously, it's about me being able to be an advocate for those who have been dominated for so long. And now, as they are maturing, they feel lost in being able to express themselves and understanding that they're not invisible. We in the village, all shades of brown people, which is what this network is about, we are in peril when it comes to carrying on certain quotes and traditions and thought processes from our ancestors. And one of the famous ones that is highly irritating to me is children are to be seen and not heard. That right there, if you do not unlearn it, will have you saying yes when you should have said no, and saying no when you should have said yes. It will have you having double language. It'll have you being, split in many decisions. It'll have you straddling the fence, because in that you then have that spirit of people pleasing. And when you are a people pleaser, you can go home after a long day of work having that conversation in the car about how they got you fucked up. And how you regretting not saying something when you should have. That's what that's about. It's about coming to a place of balance. No one has the right to dominate you. The only one who has the power and authority to do that is the one who super rules, and that's the Most High. Anything he wants to at any time. There's nothing you can do about it. So a lot of times unlearning is step one, right? It's unlearning and unpacking everything that does not need to go with you to the land of uprightness, right? It's about being able to be a better version of yourself, and that includes healthier version of yourself, to where you're not passing on, whether it be in thought, action, or deed, no matter what environment you go into, that energy of your ancestors that says vibrate low, be dominated, be a I don't want to say a slave, but be a doormat to other people and allow people to cross your boundaries. As a matter of fact, what are boundaries? And so that's where people be having you fucked up at, is because people keep crossing our boundaries, right? And then you just get to a point to where you have to really go into, sometimes some of us go into deep meditation because our pop-off is so disrespectful and it deserves to be that way, that we really have to do some deep breath meditations and all kind of stuff, because if we go off at the workplace, shit's gonna shut down. No, we're gonna have to leave out in a single file line. No, this ain't no drill. No, Sister Speak didn't really pop the fuck off. That's what that's about. And you know what it is. Some of us still to this day, if we be real, we have given ourselves a purple heart when it comes to popping off. I mean, we will reread a text message and be like, oh shit, I lit them up. The way that the words formed when you were texting, it was just like, damn, this is good. Like, you breaking news. Okay, I'm a hitter on these quirky keys. It's serious. It's serious, right? You don't want to have to go there, but sometimes you are the curriculum that somebody needs. Maybe this is the day that they need to, get the business. This is the day that they may have to catch them hands. This is the day that, you gonna have to give them those serious brown, all shades of brown people eyes. The eyes I'm talking about, that look that your mama used to give you, or somebody in the village used to give you when you knew you were just out of pocket. Okay? Sometimes you will literally have to ask somebody, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Well, no, we're not going to move on any further. No, not today. No, I woke up different. That's why you're appalled. I don't give a damn. You can call me anything you want to, but you're going to also call me getting in that ass because I'm tired of you disrespecting me, and you feel comfortable disrespecting me, and you're taking the fact that I am holding my peace and that I'd rather be working in peace instead of being in chaos. And you thought that because you did it the first time and I did not say anything, but I did give you a look, or you did hear me kind of take one of these breaths where I went, you did hear that. I know you felt the wind from the Wizard of Oz blowing upon your forearm next to your carpal tunnel situation going on. I know you felt that. I know you felt my energy shift because you knew you were wrong, or maybe you didn't. But I'm telling you today, you're not going to come in that way. You have mistaken my silence as weakness. But no, I'm strategizing on your ass. No, I've got something coming for you. Oh, no. This is the day. No, this is the day. I pulled your fucking name out of the hat. The day you started messing with me, because when I pull up to the job, I'm already having to prepare myself that I'm going to be here, held hostage in my mind, for about 9 to 12 hours. And in those 9 to 12 hours, depending on where I work, I'm already having to deal with a lot, especially based on the job description. So I really don't have time. In the job description, it didn't say you're going to have to deal with some haters, some punk ass bitches, some scallywags, some jealous ass. Nowhere in here did it say that. So when I signed up for this job and I applied and you said congratulations, you should have told me everything, that the energy was off and all kind of stuff. But no, I had to learn that on my own. And because I had to learn that on my own, and I'm discovering that I am literally on my own at this job, and I'm surrounded by a coven of witches, goblins, and demons. No, this is going to be a different day for you all, because no. This is the day where everybody's going to be talking about what the fuck I said to you. Nope. Nobody's going to remember a damn thing. That you don't even have a comeback today because you weren't prepared for me being prepared for you. Yeah. People get tired of having to deal with people crossing their boundaries. And then you have to teach people your boundaries. And then when you do, they want to think you 5150. Well, that's if that's what it felt like in your spirit, so be it. But I know you're not going to try me again. And the word is going to spread not to try me. That's what we're talking about on the vent session. Being able to reestablish the boundaries that people think. No, being able to reestablish and retrain the energies wherever you go that keep thinking that they can come at you any old type of way because of the light shining within you. Most of the people that get hated on their jobs, it's not because you lick toilets. No, it's not you toilet lickers. It's the ones who actually said, I believe that the Most High God is black. I know that I'm from the 12 tribes of Israel. I do believe that he did die for a specific world. I am aware of these things now. No, I do have an assignment. Actually, I do stand on what thus saith the Lord. I am aware of the fact that I am a sinner saved by grace, and I'm also aware that I'm a light worker and he's using me. Yes, you can see the light, and the thing in you has a problem with what's inside of me. That's why you're hating on me, because I didn't come in here with the shit. You're with the shit. And now here it is. All the shit that you've done to me got collected in a jar, and one day the jar tipped over and it landed all over you and your crew. And now when I come to work, I get to skip into work and I have a great day because I had to take myself outside of myself and go off on you. But you wanted it because you kept trying me. You kept trying me. And that's what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters. They're going to keep trying you until the pop off. It's going to be that one pop off. Well, you're going to pop off so hard, you're going to probably have to you're going to call everybody you could think about. Well, no, more than likely you're a hermit. No, I'm not going to say a hermit. More than likely you are the type of person where you pretty much have a small circle. So the small circle is definitely going to know about the pop off. Oh no, everybody's going to be talking about that at work as well. And when you go into work, you're going to be the hero. Because there are other people who got tired of this shit. You're not the only person that they do it to. They do it to other light workers. They are just a tyrant. The people who you encounter who cross your boundaries. And the people who cross your boundaries, brothers and sisters, are just not on the job. We're aware of that. Family, friends, and foes, right? And it isn't until you say what you have to say, or you completely disconnect yourself from those people, that the energy shifts. Because it is intrusive and disrespectful for anyone to cross a boundary, especially when that boundary has already been established by the Most High God. And now you make yourself an enemy of His. Completely. Because what you're doing is you're coming after His children. And you obviously don't know that we're divinely protected. You obviously threw out the window that vengeance is His. And that there are angels that are protecting His children. And that spiritual warfare is real. So somewhere along the lines, many people who come for us, they experience some serious vengeance. Oh yeah, you do get your vindication now. Where can I pick that up at? Where you get vindication from? Can I get that from CVS? Ma'am. So that was at least you asked. But no, you can't get vindication from CVS. No, ma'am, you can't. But vindication comes. And so it isn't until you decide to fight and not be a sucker, as I mentioned before in the vent session, you can't be no punk. It isn't until you decide that I'm not going to keep getting beaten up. It isn't until then that it changes. You have to decide that you've had enough of people crossing your boundaries, saying anything they want to you, doing anything, sticking their nose in your business, all up in your stuff. And you have to ask yourself, well, what is this person's reason why they all up in my business and constantly just creating this type of chaos for me? As I aforementioned, it's that light in you. The spirit of jealousy is real, y'all. It's so real, it's not even funny how real the spirit of jealousy is. You've got the $1.99 bag of Cheetos. They've got the 59-cent bag of Cheetos. Now you think you all that because you got the bigger bag. Make it make sense. She thinks she all that because she got her hair done. He think he all that because he washed his car and he waxed his car. Just petty examples of the things that we have to encounter where you're like, are you a mind reader? Because at this point, the vent session, we're going to get it out. Now, that was light and fluffy, right? But boundaries are crossed in situations that can literally put you in a position where you can lose a lot as well. Especially when groups of people form to cross your boundaries. When enemies link up with enemies to create a stronger force against the Most High God. Notice I said the Most High God and not you. Because if God be for you, then who can be against you? And they're not fighting you. Yes, they see you, but it is a battle that is much bigger. Okay? So, if you don't, let's just say this, if you don't put on your warrior gear, for the rest of your life, you will be dominated by people who cross boundaries. And then the boundaries that they cross are so egregious and so disrespectful and so satanic in their nature of what they do that you may be in literally the fight for your life, because some people cross boundaries and they falsify information in order to gain acreage in your territory, in order to take over what has been promised to you. You have to also remember that some of the people who come after you, they've been cut off. And because they've been cut off, they are desperately seeking energy that they can harvest and drain. They're vampires. And when you have something that they want, and when they have been cut off, they will conspire to create a demise for you in order to seize your land, your gifts, your abundance, your identity. And you're left having to literally fight for your life in some of these situations because people don't respect boundaries. And these people, mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, name them all. It could be any one of these people with these descriptions, with these nouns. Okay? They are common folk. Common in the fact that they're familiar faces. And familiar faces feel as if they can get a pass because they are familiar faces. There's something familiar. And because we are cousins, of course you're going to let me slide. I'm your mom. Of course you're going to let me slide. I can do what I want to. I gave birth to you. That's when you start to notice the God complex in your parents or whoever raised you. It's almost as if they forgot that there is a Most High God, because they take on roles and assumptions and a mentality that would have you going opposite of uprightness, that would have you going away from your purpose and plan and have you missing your assignment. And they all fall under the category of, I'm your mom, I'm your dad, I'm your parent, but you're not my God. And yes, I have read, honor your mother and father, and I have read, do not provoke your children to anger. And I also know that El Shaddai is the mother, father, God. So yes, I will continue to honor my mother and my father. But I'm not going to be able to honor somebody who is recklessly endangering my life with their intentions and their impositions and their satanic thought process. And a lot of people don't want to call their mama the devil or their daddy the devil, but I'll call them that for you, because we're not going to sit here and say, if it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a hippopotamus. We're not going to do that here. I don't do that type of stuff. You're not going to ever catch me trying to wrangle something in the way that they did Bootsy. And we will be talking about Bootsy on this vent session. But you're not going to cross my boundaries and impose some fuckery on me that does not rest well with my soul. You're not going to bully me into letting you live in my boundaries. Don't you have your own area for you to live in? Don't you have your own space? I'm not interested in crossing your boundaries, because you be damned if I cross your boundaries. I'm your mama. Who the fuck you think you talking to? But look how you're talking to me. And then I have to say that to you with all due respect. I'm just saying, I got to do all these damn disclaimers, but you don't ever have a disclaimer when you come for me. You just come. And you teach other people how to come for me. You show other people how to disrespect me. You show other people the type of energy that comes from this home, which then leaves me exposed to other people crossing my boundaries. And now I'm having to face a molester, a bully, a boss that's sexually harassing me. I'm getting accosted. I'm defenseless. And you put me in that environment. That's what we're talking about. You have to establish your boundaries because your mother and your father they don't come before the Most High God. And if you love your mother and your father more than you love God, then you're in trouble. And a lot of people will get mad when you say that, but it's in the word. Look, I'm not here for the Hallmark cards. I'm not here for any type of let it smell like pine forest and apple pies. I'm not here for none of that. We are in trouble because a lot of us are hindered by people crossing our boundaries, and we are not on our right pathway into doing what we're supposed to be doing because people continue to tell us and impose on us a way of being that does not register with what the Lord predestined for our lives. And that's why there's so many people walking around here without joy. They're joyless instead of joyful, grumbling and moaning and complaining because they're not in their rightful position because all they wanted to do was just please mama and daddy. Well, you're going to be the only one, so it's all on you now. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. I saw somebody that was 83 at the ride. It can still be on you, grandpa or great-great-grandpa. No, it's not all on me. Do not accept the pressure to carry on generational curses. You better understand somebody. I'm going to tell you right now, in a normal relay race where there are, let's just say, 4 runners, we all understand that the objective is to pass the baton to the next runner to where the 4th runner brings it on home. Now that is how it's supposed to go. When you are vibrating high, have broken the generational curses. But a lot of times I want you to see in this illustration that I'm giving you, spiritual illustration, that a lot of times those 4 runners represent 4 generations of generational curses, passing it on. What am I running for? I'm running with a curse to pass it on to somebody else. I'm quickly trying to pass this curse on. They don't give gold medals for power walking, but they should. Because I'd rather power walk than run. The race isn't given to the swift. So let me work this thing on out before I pass this baton. Let me not pass on this fuckery to the next generation. I'll be the one to stand up. And sometimes you don't go around volunteering to be the Karate Kid, first and foremost. Ain't nobody trying to be Daniel-san on the scrim, right? Look, here one day, you just hanging out with Mr. Miyagi. Next thing you know, you in the battle fighting these white people. I'm just saying. Nobody asked to go and fight the bear, Goliath, and the lion on purpose initially. But then after the fight, you're like, wow. So what I'm saying is there are a lot of things that it's going to require a lot for us to do to break through these curses. But you're the one to do it. And you didn't ask to do it, but you see how they treat you. You see how you don't fuck with them. You see how you don't want to have nothing to do with them. You peeped everything. You ain't no little kid anymore. You see shit for the way it is. You're recognizing energies now, and you know something is off, and you don't want to be a part of it. And they know that you're different. That's why you feel the separation. That's why you keep having these tiffs and the friction is the way it is, because the Lord is trying to remove you from them. There's only so long you can stay in a landfill before you decide that you don't want to be surrounded by shit and other people's garbage and waste. And a lot of times when you go to some family reunions, that's what you're actually walking into, a landfill. Look, I don't want to eat no ribs. I'm trying to figure out how this spirit of molestation got in the family. Ooh, wasn't ready for that for this reunion, but we're going to talk about it because something is off. I want to talk about the family poverty. I want to talk about this. I don't want to eat no ribs and no potato salad with egg whites in it because I don't believe in egg whites being in potato salad in the first place. And I know that you got a spirit in you because you put egg whites and you also put egg whites in your stuffing, which is another reason why I knew it wasn't for me to celebrate Thanksgiving. Moving forward, but seriously, I don't want to sit here and wear no oversized family reunion t-shirt this year. I want to talk about why we are cursed, and I am ready to do something about it. I'm tired of the elephant in the room. Uncle such and such, you need to quit touching kids. You done molested. Aunt such and such. Woo 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 woo. I mean, like, and even talking about yourself because you are a part of the low vibing behavior until you decide you want no more. It's about if we gonna reunite, can we have a family prayer and not one of them ones where we can just see who prays the best? That is the stupidest shit ever. Who can fall out the fastest? Who can go into a praise dance the quickest? All you fake ass people, I'm serious today about this. This is about next time we have a family reunion, can we call out these demons and exorcise them and get some family healing going on so we could actually have a legacy and a lineage instead of having to deal with this low vibrating bullshit that we got going on? Number one, these t-shirts is bullshit because every year, everybody ain't a 2X. First off, and y'all only have two sizes, large and 2X. But that's just that. Yeah, that's superficial. But I just need you to understand that at this point, I'm so irritated that I can't do this shirt right now because I'm tired of this. It's the same old stuff where nothing ever gets accomplished except for the cooking for the day, the family activities. And you got one prayer, and that's over the food, and then that's it. It's about addressing the demons. And as long as the baton is filled with the curses, the voodoo, the spells, and all of that, then don't pass that shit on to me. Why would you want to? Oh, you're too young to know about what's going on in the family. Nope. All the children staying here. We're going to have a family meeting. I'm grown now. I can't eat at this little poker table and sit in these little folding chairs anymore. I'm a grown woman. What's up? So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about boundaries, brothers and sisters. I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. I'm going to take a couple of commercial breaks. You are listening to the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show. I'm your host, Sister Speak. And everything is going up because anything going down is crashing. It's always time to podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show. We want to be the flavor in your ear. That's why we added a new segment, The Hair Appointment, focusing on hair, skin, and nails, with tips, products, and wisdom. We were covering this topic on the Upgrade and in the Speak Sister Speak mobile magazine. On The Hair Appointment, we will embrace, we will learn, we will refrain, and we will embody our crown, because our hair is our crown and glory, and we must protect it. We can't allow any type of damage or lack of wisdom to be the reason why we lose our crown. It's time for the glow up and to express yourself in a high vibration. Why not? Thank you for podcasting and chilling with the Sister Speak Show. The platform is no longer a part of the Sister Speak network. You were already warned that she was sleeping with the ops, and you're still gonna go over there and lay your head on her pillow. The latest episode of the tour on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, Snakes in the Studio, Part 2, Two-Faced Managers and Artists, Poison in the Pillow, He Said, She Said, Now Someone's Dead. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode of the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. Welcome back. You are listening to the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show. I'm your host, Sister Speak. For real. They got you fucked up. Seriously. Once you realize how principalities and spiritual wickedness play a hand in some of what you have been going through, you will either be one or two people. You will either lay down and let it dominate you for the rest of your life, or you will rise up in a power that you never had before because they were trying to take it from you through domination and other tactics. That when you do rise up in that, which I hope you would choose the latter, which would be rising up in your power and believing, because if you don't believe that there is no type of witchcraft, voodoo, and any of that, then I can't even talk to you. Excuse me. This episode isn't going to be for you or any other episodes. I don't have time for people, like I said before, who have put their tooth underneath a pillow, who take their children trick-or-treating, but then when you talk about the matters of the heart, they question you or they think you crazy. Well, you the one that lets your kid dressed up like demons and go begging for candy from door to door. Who's the crazy one? So anyway, moving forward, when it comes to being dominated, if you are under that type of oppression, then it is easy for anybody to cross their boundaries. That's how you end up in abusive situations, narcissistic situations, or even in jobs that don't serve your highest good because of the pattern that you are accustomed to and because you're unhealed. And I have mentioned before that some of us have Band-Aids over wounds that need stitches. Why is it stinging? Because it's working. And there are some wounds that will have to sting while they're healing. So you can understand that however that wound occurred or whatever led up to it, that you may want to reconfigure or re-strategize or reroute your movements so you don't ever end up in that type of situation again. And we praise God that there is a process when you are wounded and that you just don't stay wounded, that there are healing properties available that can help, and even from the inside of your body, that can assist with healing. Your body itself knows that it has to heal. But does your spirit, your soul, line up with what your body knoweth right well? Some of you don't want to admit that you go to a church full of witches and demons and goblins, and that your pastor is either one of the three or all of the three. That your mom is one, that your aunties are one, that your uncle is one, that your neighbor is. Y'all don't want to believe that stuff, but they sitting over there doing abracadabra on you. You better believe it. Well, why would people do that? Lily pad. Listen, lily pad. You can't be naive. You cannot always see the good in people because some people don't have good in them. You can't be trying to find ways to see, oh, I know that he's the Night Stalker and everything, and I get what you're saying about all the bodies and everything that they found, but I still really think he's a really good guy. I don't even know. How did you even find the Sister Speak Show?
No, I understand. I get it. I understand. I understand that there's bodies that they found on his property under a mysterious concrete slab. And I do understand that he is seen on video going to Depot Home and buying cinder blocks and cement and shovels and large garbage bags and but it doesn't matter because he said he's in construction. So even though they do link him to the murders and he is a wanted serial killer, I still love him because I think he just had he just needs some love and attention, and I feel like I can give that to him.
When I hear that voice, I think your name is Margaret. Margaret?
Yes. How'd you know?
Listen, Margaret, check this out. I'm hearing that you aren't a respecter of boundaries, and you sound like if they would not have apprehended this serial killer, that you would have also been underneath that concrete slab.
Oh, what do you mean?
Just what I said. Boundaries. Everybody is not who they appear to be. And I don't care how good looking or how bad looking. It is the energy that they possess that is going to determine the outcome of the atmosphere. And if you are going around with excuses for why you are being dominated, you're in trouble. And I know that you have some form of depression inside of you, because that's no way to live, where somebody else gets to dictate the account for your life because you've given up your energy to somebody who does not have the right to siphon it or harvest it from you. Two types of people are going to listen to this podcast: those who are changing and those who don't want to change. Those who don't want to change will find a problem with everything that I say, because you probably possess these type of demonic behaviors. You probably cross boundaries. I know that when your boundaries are violated and they are crossed, depending on where you are in your life, that it is a high possibility that you've let it go on for far too long. And I know you don't feel good. You can't even successfully operate in who you are supposed to be because you're being dominated. It doesn't feel good when people disrespect you. The panacea is that you're going to have to cut everybody off that's doing this, including yourself. What do you mean? You're going to have to stop allowing it. Do we have to have Nettie come visit you and tell you that you're going to have to learn how to fight? I don't know how to fight. Look here, Apples, Apples, Apples. You're going to have to fight. And you're going to have to learn how to fight, because Jesus does not sit. The Most High God does not sit on a cloud with a harp. I'm going to keep saying that. Like, what do y'all think? What do you take him to be? Mighty in battle, almighty, never lost, sits high and looks low, all power, omnipotent, omnipresent. I'm just saying. You're going to have to learn how to fight. Ever since I came out of codependency, allowing myself to be codependent on what other people thought about me and the validations that I thought I needed from other people, once I came out of that, I immediately started vibrating higher. My energy shifted. And the Lord is now testing me. He'll have these little tests come, and I'm passing them because I'm standing up in the power, and I'm not letting people assume that they can just have their way with me. I'm not going to let you come before me. If you trying to come before me in a manner that is disrespectful and evil with a hidden agenda, that's not how we do this here. This is not how we do it. Come on, Montel Jordan. This isn't how we do it. So, these next seasons that are approaching, the question to you is, how long are you going to keep venting in the shower, talking to the shower? Every time the shower see you, the shower be like, oh shit, here we go. She finna talk my nozzle off. She finna talk the water cold. I don't be knowing if them is tears or the shower water. No, seriously. And there's nothing wrong, look, with an aquatic praise. There's nothing wrong with having your outlet. But I'm saying, when you get into the shower the next time, it should be like, that bitch ain't gonna fuck with me again. I'm just saying, right? She ain't gonna come with me like that anyway again. You're gonna be repeating what you said because it's gonna be so powerful. You gotta switch the narrative. You have to be willing to take it to another level when you are working in a work environment. If there are different levels where somebody is above the person that's fucking with you, where you have to just do what you got to do. Nobody can dominate you for making sure that you have the peace that you need or detour you from that. So you better, let me tell you, like I said, I don't fight fair. I never will. You come for me, I let it build. I watch it. And I be like, damn. Sometimes not on purpose, but you can see how far somebody will go with you. And then one day things just change. And then the ball is in my court permanently. And I have a right to do what I choose to do because you came fucking with me. No, you thought it was okay to come for me, to involve yourself, plant yourself in my life. And when you did it, you disrespected me with your low vibrating ass, with your low vibrating thoughts, with your low vibrating energy. And you thought that you could come into my life and play the Most High. You thought that you could come in and unjigsaw the predestinations that have been set out for my puzzle, my masterpiece, my canvas. You thought that if you came into my energy field and crossed my boundaries, that if you threw away my palette, I would have nothing to paint with. But I can make a beautiful sketch out of pencil. It doesn't matter what you try to strip from me. If God be for me, who can be against me? And some of you niggas will come into that energy field and come and cross borders and boundaries. And then you find out that you want no parts of what you're getting, but you deserve it. And that's why you're there. Some of us, as I have learned from my spiritual teacher, some of us have been chosen to be the reaping that our enemies will receive. We're the ones to be the vessel for it to come through. They had to mess with you. It had to happen that way so they could all meet their demise. You are a lot of people's demise. Now, people don't want to hear that, and this may not be for you. You can go ahead and send your 12 cents a day to whoever you want to send your 12 cents a day to. We're not playing that game over here because our people in the village are being fucked over by people who cross boundaries that say they love us, that say that they rock with us, ride or die. And let me tell you something. If you will ride or die for me, I don't want you in my life. What you mean? Because I don't want you to ever ride or die for me. I need an and. I need you to ride and live with me. Because if you trying to ride or die, that means that you trying to out here vibrate on some low shit. Nah, Sister Speak, you going too far. That just means, I'm saying what I'm saying, and I said what I said, and I know what I meant. That's why I said it, or I would have said something different. Your enemies have to be taught a lesson. And sometimes you are the chalkboard, the PowerPoint, the curriculum, the online activity, the connect the dots, the paint by numbers. Shall I proceed? Yes, indeed. I'm serious about that today. And I'm speaking to you niggas that go around being horrible people wherever you go, just like when I had walked out and I was going for my walk and somebody did not, I don't know what, first of all, I don't know what type of scat that was. Let me first say that, okay? It was strange scat. I don't know if it came from a pelican. I don't know if it came from a gopher. I don't know what this was, but there was a whole bunch of flies. On the shit. I had to press pause. I had to go take, somebody was at my door. And that means that my train of thought went out the way. So it'll come back to me. But my point is, brothers and sisters, we are in a point of our life where our enemies have to be taught a valuable lesson about disrespecting us. Period, point blank. Crossing boundaries. Being egregious, putting us in a position to where we are in some unnecessary situations, and these people are people who are familiar to us, most of them. Now, when I speak about crossing boundaries and I speak about you standing up in your power, it's because genuinely, you're not supposed to be vibrating that low to where people are dominating you like that. And I want us to understand that in our spirit. If you are the type of person who complains in your car to yourself about how they got you fucked up, then I know you're vibrating low. Because there's something that's keeping you from saying, stop disrespecting me. You're intimidated. You're afraid you'll lose your job. You're afraid of the consequences of you standing up for yourself while these people continue to assassinate you, decapitate you, destroy you, completely obliterate you, wipe you off the face of the earth, it seems like they're trying to do. And you're afraid of hurting their feelings while they don't give a dang about holding an AK-47 to your head. You're too nice. Too nice. Just call me too nice. What? Just call me too nice. What? No. Kindness. That's what you're supposed to be. And that's with wisdom. Because he says, don't cast all your pearls to swine. And some of you got a lot of hagathas in your family. A lot of wartmongers in your family. A lot of Gargamels in your family. A lot of Azraels in your family. Some of you are dating. Some of you are married to Gargamel. Some of you are married to Hagatha. Some of your children are Azrael. Some of your family members are wartmongers. Do I need to go on and on? Some of you have already kicked rocks and the moment you hit reverse, you had the middle finger in the air to your family. Never again. They will never see you again. Ever. You're not picking up the phone. You didn't change your phone number. You didn't block them on social media. You don't want to have shit to do with them. Good for you. Let them meet their demise. They have to learn the lesson. You don't have the right to go around terrorizing people. And then the moment that somebody tells you to stop, then you want to become a victim. Nah, fuck that. Stay in that villain energy. Keep that same old fucked up energy and stop trying to throw the rock and hide your hand, sucker. That's what I'm tired of. I don't understand it. You sitting around here doing the most. And in the moment that you get called out, then you want to rally troops and start crying and shit. Oh, so you really a sucker? Oh, so you really ain't about that life. The funny thing is, you put out a lot of bullshit, but you sure can't take none. Because the moment that any little inch of any type of reaping comes your way, you willing to fall all out. Go get the usher, sister such and such, them fell out. Good for her. Maybe she'll hit her head and wake up changed. Maybe she'll hit her head and forget how to be a bitch and be mean. The boundaries that are crossed. Just because he's your pastor doesn't give him the right to cross boundaries. That's my pastor. Don't you dare say nothing about my pastor. I just did, and what you gonna do about it, nigga? Just did. Look around your church. Filled with women. No men. Why? Because men don't want their boundaries to be crossed. They smell something that you choose not to smell. Some of you all sit up in church and you are some of the meanest, evil, nastiest, low vibrating, scummiest demons I have ever met. And you hide behind the church program, and you hide behind the ministries and auxiliaries, and at home you cook from a cauldron. At home you got potions and you do all kind of stupid low vibrating practices and rituals to tear asunder the will of the Most High God, and you actually think that you can actually pry God's hands apart, and you sit up there with your hat, with your matching outfit, and you play the role, but on the inside of you, Thriller night. That's you, Thriller. Every time you open your mouth to sing a hymn, caskets fall out your mouth. You drive a casket. Your middle name is Morgue. I said it because some of you play. You play. You play. You play. You hide behind the church. But you know you have crossed some boundaries in people's lives that have had a serious effect on their progress. Some of you mothers, as I have said and I will continue to say, you have an infatuation with your son that is unhealthy. And vice versa. I leaned too far in the microphone and hit it. That's what that was. But seriously, there is a unhealthy infatuation. I know of a situation where a young man was married to a young woman, and the young man's mother and the young man's siblings, step-siblings, best friend, and other people from the young lady's side of the family, they would not stay in their lane, and they caused those two to separate. And the mother, along with the other people involved, were doing spell work and have been doing spell work on many people, and this is just their MO. And when you cross those type of boundaries, it makes the people, the ones who are in their right mind, who are being attacked, it makes them have violent thoughts. It makes them want to exact some type of revenge because of the audacity and because of the effects of the boundary crossing. And it is sad when You have to deal with niggas as they are, and you have to you first identify people just being regular, but then you see that, oh no, these is just niggas. And then you have to deal with the type of nigga bullshit and behavior that comes from them. And that's what that is. There are a lot of people who are suffering because boundaries were crossed and there has been a lot of loss. Hold on, though, because the Lord does multiply by subtraction. He hasn't forgotten. We cannot fret not, but we can definitely vent about it. We can definitely vent about it, brothers and sisters. I want us to walk away from this part of the segment understanding that when you cross boundaries, you put yourself in a position to be dealt with. And however you are dealt with, you deserve it. I would like to encourage every one of my brothers and sisters right now who have problems saying yes and problems saying no. Those of you right now who are caught up been caught up in a season of people pleasing, pastor pleasing, place pleasing, just pleasing. And you're not pleasing the Most High God. I would just like to encourage you to put up your middle finger to all these people. Stop bowing down to them. Stop letting them dominate you. Rise in your power. Become a warrior and not a wimp. And allow the Most High God to have his way through your life. Because you do have a purpose and a passion that you must fulfill. And we cannot use mama, daddy, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, cousin, and them as a crutch for too much longer. No, because the more you use it as a crutch, time continues to go on. And if you do not put an end to it and stop focusing on it, it will continue to have its way in your life. And yes, you will miss out on everything that you were supposed to fulfill. And have, because all you cared about was not hurting somebody's feelings while they burned yours, stepped on yours, crushed yours, annihilated yours, put your feelings on the guillotine, didn't give a damn about. They don't care about no Ellie Maj. They don't care about none of your feelings. None of that. They don't care about any of that. They are here to super rule your life until you do something about it. And that is your mountain to climb. Will you climb it? Or will you stay at the bottom? Will you break the curses? Or will you carry on the curses? Will you continue to walk into your job allowing them to punk you? A lot of you are uncomfortable in your job because it's time to go. A lot of you are uncomfortable where you are right now because there's something inside of you that needs to be delivered. You're much more than what the word curses told you you were. I don't care if they told you ain't gonna be shit. That's a lie. You should be glad that somebody tells you ain't gonna be shit. Who wants to be shit anyway? Nobody wants to be shit. Shit? Excrement? Dookie? Boo-boo? Stank? No. You ain't gonna be shit anyway. Thank you. I'm glad you recognize that I never wanted to be shit in the first place. But I am gonna be high vibrating and I am gonna prosper. I am gonna elevate. I am gonna proceed out of this. You're right. I ain't gonna be shit. That's you. You are going to be shit. You are shit. See, when you flip it on them, first of all, they're going to be shocked. Especially with my mouth. You don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. And if you enter into that ring, thank you for the practice. But you know you ain't finna win. Nah, not at all. So, thank you. You're right. I ain't going to be shit. Praise God, and ain't gonna be pissed either. Now. And that's when they get to telling you got a smart mouth. Thank you. That's good. Let me put that down on my resume so they'll know that's one of my skills. I've got a smart mouth. Oh, you just ignorant. I can't even talk to you. You all that social media got you. No, none of that. None of that. What it is that your spirit is irritated because you missed the call. Your spirit is irritated because you've had several warnings. Your spirit is irritated because when you were growing up, you were limited. The resources were few. The opportunities were minimal. The prejudices that you encountered were hostile. So just to get a certification or even to get a ninth grade education was doing good. You had to drop out of school in order to be a man and help take care of the family. There are conditions, but what you will not do is condition me to live in those conditions that I don't see around me now. I won't be conditioned to live out what you had to live in. I will not, and you will not hold me back. Because if it were meant for your way to be the only way, there would be no other generations after you. The Lord would have looked and said, oh, this is good. We don't need to have no more come from this line. We don't need anybody to come from this line. No, they did a good job. No, that's not the case. So just say that as a person born in the 40s or the 30s or the 50s or even the 60s, that the opportunities and the climate of the culture were hostile, that you were being hunted, that the entire atmosphere was saturated with a demonic energy, that you are 2 generations away from coming out of slavery. And so what you're repeating to me is only the energy passed down from the colonizer. That's why you're saying what you're saying to me right now. Because opportunities were far few and in between. But what you all had then, that what we don't have now, is that sense of community. But was there any common sense in the sense of community? Excuse me. So don't come at me with how you feel about what you grew up in. Tell me to run on. Tell me to walk and not be weary. Tell me that the race is not given to the swift, but to he that endureth. Tell me that you are proud to see me rising and taking what was ashes and making it into something beautiful. And while you're still here, you have the opportunities to still pursue your passion. It's not over for you. I'm not responsible for if you choose to believe the lie of the devil. I am responsible to tell you that the devil is a liar. But I can't make you unchoose that choice. That's on you to believe the assassination attempts on your lineage. So when you cross that boundary with your verbal abuse, with your physical abuse, when you cross that boundary with wishing stagnant energy upon me, wanting me to be isolated, hoping conflict comes my way, hoping war comes my way, hoping people will be repelled by me. Do you not understand who the author of those thoughts are? The devil using you to cross my boundaries. I have a right to defend myself. I have a right to stand up and say no more. You don't have a right to talk to me that way. You don't have a right to put your hands on me. Even in a marriage, boundaries are crossed. Infidelity. Forsaking vows. The list goes on and on. But being in a marriage where you're being dominated by Satan through your spouse, you must do what you need to do. Well, what are you saying, Sister Speak? do what you need to do. Do you plan on staying or leaving? Because I have seen the Most High God separate two people that were fighting. He will end it. Oh, there will be no good days until you get it. That these decisions that you're making and these things that you're willing to accept stem from childhood and the fact that your boundaries have been dominated and were crossed a long time ago. And then you start to enter into the childhood trauma awareness, which is where we want everybody to be. The whole point of this conversation was to get you to that point, the awareness. Doing the research that you need to cleanse. Nobody has the right to cross your boundaries. Nobody. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Why you created your online dating profile, and sometimes those reasons can prove deadly. The latest episode of the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thought. On this episode, Dying to Date, online dating the profile predator. On the Suspense Files, we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. I know you're looking for love, but you shouldn't be looking for love in all the wrong places. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Now all I need is a Superfly blazer and a pair of shorts for my photo shoot, sis. Have you made any progress? Everything has to be fly. I'm a professional stylist for a reason, sis. I found these two pieces from KK Lachey. They're perfect for your photo shoot. Sitting pics now. Oh, these are lit. Book the look, sis. I ordered the outfit already, sis. Your photo shoot is going to be epic. The summer sale at KK Lachey is going on now. With these looks and more in stock, you're guaranteed to find the look that you need, whether it's for a photo shoot or a day or night out. Shop kklachey.com and get ready. The look, the feel, the vibe. kklachey.com. Welcome back. You are listening to the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show. I am your host, Sister Speak. Yes, that was a long pause, but we'll be all right. We're going to be all right. I was scrolling. Anyway, brothers and sisters, you know, boundaries is a great, excuse me, segue into, oh my gosh, I did not do the cheers. Lo siento, mija. Lo siento, mijo. Lo siento. Ay de mí, qué suerte. Pero, ¿tienes tu agua? Bueno, bueno. Let's drink. Come on, everybody. Let's drink our water. Cheers. Tonight's bottle of water is not sponsored by, but should be sponsored by Fiji. Okay. This is why I be having to re-record some of my episodes. Check this in. When it comes to boundaries, as a journalist, I choose to navigate how I choose to navigate. And I chose a platform where I wouldn't have to worry about answering to anybody except for the Most High God. I didn't want to have a boss that was going to make me wear a Santa Claus hat, dress up for Halloween, go looking for Easter eggs, passing out turkeys, anything of that nature. Wouldn't be able to show up that day for work. I don't do that type of stuff anymore. So I don't want to be on a platform where I have to sell out myself. Somebody has to stay in the village. We all can't leave, okay? I know the goal is to eradicate the village, but it's not going to be able to happen because you can't eradicate God. And why you all keep trying to do so just proves how dumb you are. Now, moving on. As a journalist, I know that it is my responsibility that when I have a special guest on my show, that I make sure that my special guest is comfortable. My job is not to do anything less than that. I'm supposed to do my best, nothing more, nothing less. And careful consideration is something that any journalist with any type of integrity should have. You are supposed to understand that you're not the only person that exists in this world. You still have an objective, but it's how you go about your objective. And for me, because I don't buy likes, shares, subscribes, or downloads, I'm organic. I toil my own soil. Excuse me. I just have a different way of letting my energy flow. I choose to have a high vibrating energy. When it comes to my guests coming on the show, celebrity or not, I don't want my guest if my guest chooses not to come back, then that says a lot, right? And if my guest chooses to come back, that says a lot as well. And one thing that I benefit from my platform is I don't have to sell out my relationship with the Most High God, and I don't have to say something that the audience is going to love, people please the audience, and then go home and have to deal with the consequences of not being bold and being ashamed before man. I'm not going to be ashamed before man when it comes to what I'm supposed to say, when it comes to the Most High God. I'm not. I'm going to say what I'm supposed to say, period. And when you don't do that, you feel the immediate ramifications of not being obedient to what you were supposed to say or not say. My platform has a foundation. My foundation, so we can all get this clear. I believe whatever the Most High says. Whatever he says, I believe. I don't question it. I'm not going to debate it. I'm not going to try to flip it and turn it or remix it. I believe what he says because he is all knowing. Who am I to walk around in this world haughty, thinking that I can change what thus saith the Lord? Who am I to think that I sit high, look low, and I created this world? Who am I to think that Yeshua sits on the right-hand side of me, interceding on other people's behalf? Who am I to think that? Who am I? That is the question that many need to be asking themselves as of the moment I saw that Boosie interview. So everybody will get this in their bosom. I'm not responsible for what you don't believe. I'm responsible for what I believe. I am responsible to deliver the mail. And I don't care how anybody feels about that. The Most High God is the head of every principality. That means even the Breakfast Club, Sway in the Morning, my show, any show. He's the head of every principality, right? He's the head. Supposed to be. What do you mean your show? That what I'm saying is the principalities that are in some shows, the Most High God is the head of them all. Which means that I wouldn't want to worship anything less than who the Most High God is. And so when he says something, I believe he is my father. So whatever my father says, whether I like it or not, whether whatever, it is what it is. Well, for some reason, the enemy, through people, believes that he can dominate what the Lord has said. As I have mentioned before, and I will say again, no organization has the right to make me go back into a way of living or thinking that would satisfy my flesh and have me be an enemy of the Most High God. Sodom and Gomorrah, what the fuck do you people think the Lord meant when he completely eradicated Sodom and Gomorrah to where no vegetation grows? Why do you think he did that? Because of the perverted behaviors going on. Same-sex behaviors, bestiality, all kind of manners of sexual evil were going on in deviant practices, sorcery, debauchery. And he said, nope, I'm finished with this. He was angry. But you all want to sit here and try to play games. You'll read Harry Potter and believe that, but you won't believe. So, why is it that we have this, what is this fascination in the industry with being a sodomite? How do you make being a sodomite right? How do you sit there and say, oh, it's just love? No, the fuck it isn't. Because if it were love, then you wouldn't even be doing it. That ain't love. What the fuck? How do you equate sodomy with love, my nigga? That's because they're in your pockets, the principalities. We ain't doing no disclaimers tonight, no useless points. Well, I have a this in my family. I don't look. Who doesn't? But I ain't here for that lily pad shit today. My question to you is, why the fuck are you promoting sodomy? Sodomy is not love. Oh, it's more than just sex. That's not sex. That's sodomy. The energies are unbalanced. That's why people are participating in these behaviors. Do you not want to be healed and made whole? No, you weren't. You weren't born that way. Do you want to balance your energies? That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with me saying I want a man to operate in the fullness that he was created in as a man. And I want a woman to operate in the fullness that she was created in as a woman. And you mean to tell me that when I say that, I'm hateful and I'm wrong? Or is it that you fucking vibrate so fucking low that you lick the rocks at the bottom of Hades? Could it be that? Could it fucking just be that? There's nothing wrong with wanting us to defeat the enemy. There's nothing wrong with wanting to vibrate away from having been molested by the same sex and now choosing the same sex as who you feel you should be intertwined with because you never got the healing that you needed so you could balance your energies. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that there is a panacea for when we do vibrate low, no matter what the vibration is. And I am never going to co-sign with any journalist or any media outlet that puts a special guest on your show and you sit that man down and you fucking antagonize and berate and try to make him walk away from the true foundations of what a man and a woman are supposed to be and how they're supposed to act and how children are supposed to be protected. You three sat there in your ritual and you talked about that shit for 45 fucking minutes and you got nowhere with your fucking point. And only thing you did was it was so much darkness in that room that the light workers saw right through what was happening. I wanted to get in my car, get on the next fucking plane smoking, and run my ass up into that interview and tell them to quit with that shit and do all the return to senders. Because that was demonic. That was a ritual. That was witchcraft in there. There's no accident that you had Flame Monroe in there. And one of the types of magic that is used in witchcraft is fire magic. So you got Flame Monroe there moving his hand all around, trying to tell you it's okay. It's okay. No, it's not okay. Ain't shit okay. Because if it were okay, we'd be in a better position in the village. It's not okay. Y'all keep on trying to give Sodom and Gomorrah CPR. That's what the fuck y'all keep trying to do. Y'all keep trying to give Sodom and Gomorrah the fucking Heimlich maneuver. That's what y'all try to keep doing. That's what you doing. You are a host for the fallen angels. I want my brothers and sisters not to be devoured. And if you have a problem with that, I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to be famous. I'm here to hear well done. Now get like me. You will never be able to make it make sense because it doesn't make sense. This is nothing but an attempt to stop the progress of righteous thinking. Everybody can't be perverted. Everybody doesn't have to accept what they don't want to accept. And that's only for the people who are exercising a right not to accept bullshit. And everybody doesn't get to apply what I'm saying to what they got going on. Nope, you sure don't. Nope, that ain't how it works. That's not how it works at all. You sat there and y'all had on, look at the colors that you had on. You all had on the colors. You were in a triangle. And then, man, I saw so much. Let me tell you something about being a light worker. I see things clairvoyant. I have prophetic visions. I can read a picture. I see things. Light workers, we see things. We see what the average eye may not be able to see, and that's a blessing. So I'm not speaking about something that is off. I'm speaking about something that's on. It's called the light is on. And you may call it crazy. You may call it weird. That's because you haven't received the download, and I'm not responsible for that. I'm not responsible, and I'm not going to make any apologies for where you are when it comes to what you think. I'm not going to dumb myself down or unlearn what has been gifted to me through wisdom. Through the fact that he has allowed me to actually live through my mistakes. That he's allowed me the opportunity to balance my energies. I don't speak with the passion that I speak with based on being pompous and being haughty. I'm speaking about it because I have been delivered from several pits. Because I have had low vibrating decisions that I have made there have been ramifications, but it was all for me to be able to come on this microphone and tell it like a T.I. is, and to say, yes, you can vibrate low and you can also vibrate high. It's about a choice. It's about, Lord God, I'm sick of myself. So getting back to this ritual that took place, why did y'all spend 45 minutes talking about it? We didn't learn anything, but that you all are bullies. You tried to bully him into forsaking God. You try to make him not be obedient to the word of God. You're enemies of God. Do you even believe in God? Because when you say that you believe in the Lord, are you talking about Caesar Barjona? Because that's who I think you worship. Keanu Reeves type. That's what I'm thinking. Actually, that's what I'm knowing. You don't serve black Jesus. You serve white Jesus. Because black Jesus wouldn't have had you up there ganging up on one of your brothers in the village.
Why can't you just it's all...
Nah, man. No. And you sat there and you tried to convince him on how to raise his children. Are you serious today? You know, it had to happen like this. It was sad to see, but we needed to see who you all really were. We needed to see what was operating through you and in the building. I used to want to be a part of that environment. But I'm glad that the Lord has me over here. Because one thing about us being journalists, no matter what level we're on, and I do celebrity interviews only, I switched my entire platform. There's no way I would ever have a celebrity come to my platform and then hound and berate them about what thus saith the Lord. I don't do those type of interviews. A young child who is not guarded and protected will have so many emotions and energies going through them and around them. And if you don't protect your children, they will be susceptible to some demonic energies. He didn't say anything wrong about D. Wade. He didn't say anything wrong about his son. He didn't say anything wrong. We're a village. And in the village, we're responsible for our brothers and sisters. So, if I am walking by a pool, and I'm speaking to all three of you journalists who were on that interview, if your child is in the pool, and let's just say you've turned your back for whatever reason, you're not paying attention to your child, but I am, and your child is drowning, do I let your child drown, or do I jump in and immediately save your child from the environment that is taking them under? Or do I sit there and I say, their dad or mom is going to get mad at me if I intervene in their child drowning, so I'm just going to let their child drown. Because then when your child drowns, then you want to blame everybody for not doing their part or helping out, or you are so in shock about how somebody could let your child drown who sat there and watched. Like, she sat there and watched my child drown and did nothing, but you said that's your child. You don't want nobody to tell you how to raise your baby. Nah, you said that it was okay for your son to put on a dress at 12 or whatever, or your daughter to do A, B, C, and D. You said that. So now when they over here drowning, you mad at me because you turned your back, but you expect me to save them if they drown? Wow. So you want the village to come in after the fuckery. Oh, wrong village. Boosie, I would never go back on the Breakfast Club again if I were you. Don't you ever go back on the Breakfast Club. Part ways with them niggas now. Something happened in that room, and I don't like it. And a lot of us don't like it. That was a weird fucking interview. Now, just because you work in an environment where everybody is sexually fluid and there's a lot of bullshit that goes on, there's a lot of sodomy that goes on, a lot of the people that you are surrounded by are sodomites. That's why you have to say what you say, and that's why you're so lax on it. But at the beginning of the day, a man and a woman are supposed to be together only, and you can't never fucking get mad about that. And if you do, so fucking what? Take it up with the Most High God. Don't get mad at me. That's the male. A man and a woman are supposed to be together. Yes. A woman and a man. Yes. No, we're not supposed to be vibrating in the sodomy energy. No, we're supposed to come out of that. No, we are called to be enjoying the opposite gender. We're not called to try to be the opposite gender within ourselves. We're called to do the healing work. That's what we're called to do. And you all don't want to hear that. You want shows to be created to make you feel comfortable with what the fuck you got going on. And you want the originals to sit here and just say, okay, yeah, we gonna chuck the deuces. We just gonna go ahead and just let this bullshit go ahead and take us over. Nah, we ain't gonna do nothing about the diarrhea. We just gonna let it explode. What the fuck? Seriously, brothers and sisters. No, I'm not. I'm not condoning the influences and the suggestions and the fuckery that is surrounded by lust and perversion and sexual deviancy and sodomy and all of that. You mad because I don't want to be gross? I mean, seriously though, because that's what it is at the beginning of the day. Because the more and more you get relaxed, it's just easier for the devil to come in and literally take over your whole world, your children and everything in it. And I don't come from a place of wanting my people to perish, man. I don't understand what the problem is like that. I don't have to accept that. I don't have to like it. And I don't have to sit there and make my guest feel shitty because they believe in what the Lord says. And that's what y'all did. That's what y'all did that day. I can't listen to any man that gives another man a replica of his ass for his birthday. No, nigga, no. And that's what you did. So no wonder you're okay with it. When you don't want to be famous, you don't mind eating tuna. You don't mind living off the grid. You don't mind. I'm not here to win any awards, because what I am seeking after, you can't give me anyway. The valor that I seek, the recognition that I hope I get, it comes. I want to please the Most High God because I spent too much time not pleasing Him. You can unfriend, you can unfollow. I give zero fucks. Get your own platform. And you say whatever you need to say. But I refuse to sit here and condone what I saw happen to Boosie that day. That was horrible. I would never do my guests like that. So I'm saying this to say, all managers, all publicists, you can come to the Sister Speak Show with your guest now. If you are a manager or a publicist, or if your guest is into, what I just got through talking about, this isn't the platform for you, and that's fine. Right? That's fine. But I'm always say, I do hope that you all vibrate high and come out of those unbalanced energies, because you're missing out on the best part of your life And it's sad because all the devil wants to do is just destroy us. Why would this agenda be to push such a narrative that is so far away from how we were divinely created? And then why would my brothers and sisters sit there and make a man feel a certain type of way or berate him and then perform witchcraft in the interview on him? You know, why would you all do that to him? Why are you trying to punish the darkest man in the room? One thing's for certain, two things are for sure. The interview that you all just did, that was it. Everything is going to decline for you now. That was wrong. I can't even. If I walked past you, I wouldn't even stop. Now, beforehand, I may have stopped and said, hey, how you doing? I won't even acknowledge you in the room. Not until you fix it. You got to fix it. And if you can't fix it, I can't acknowledge you. Bootsy, don't you ever go back on that show again. Don't you ever go back on that show again. They didn't ban you because of the asses. They banned you because of what you said. Ass is all on Instagram. It's all kind of bullshit on Instagram. They let a lot of shit slide on Instagram. A lot. So don't come at me or come at Boosie and say that was the reason. Now Boosie, I will say that you are loose and that you do vibrate low sexually. And you do need to come up out of the fuckery because you have slutted yourself completely out. You're drained, my nigga. And you need to get your health up. And your health is not going to get any better if you keep on intertwining with these energies. I'm just keeping it real. You got you have an old soul about you. And I still have respect for you. I'm just telling you, the sexual energy is not okay. And the moment that you decide to say, you know what, I'm finna change and do something different, things will get better for you with the energy in your home. You know, and that's me just being fair in my commentary. I don't even want to, I never even thought I would have to go here to where I even have to be having this type of specific conversation. You know, I still don't know what to say to the man who gave another man a replica of his ass. I don't know what to say to you, Charlamagne, because where the fuck do they do that at? Oh, I know where they do that at. And why would you do that? You know, there's just some things that are questionable, just as far as just where are you at with your energy that you would do something like that. You're all over the place. Who are you? What happened to you? Because you went from being Leonard to Charlamagne the God. And in that transition, you lost what your soul is supposed to know right well. I'm a Yana sojourner all day long. Yes, my entertainment name is Sister Speak. But I'm not going to let Sister Speak be the reason why I get away and do fuckery. So I'm asking you, what went left in your career that you would then be almost kind of like this covert overseer, if you will, based on your latest moves? What's going on, brother? We come from the same. I'm born in South Carolina too. I've even reached out to you. So I'm asking, what would make you attack Boosie like that? That wasn't a man and that was not three men and a woman having a conversation in a room. That was a man having a conversation with 3 demons, 4 demons in the room. I'm so ready for the seasons to shift to where you all will understand that you can form as many organizations as you want to, but you cannot make the Lord move off of his throne. And I think that's what a lot of you are trying to do. And when he does come back, I see why his garment is going to be stained. And a lot of us are not going to make it. And when I say us, I'm not one of those people like, oh, I know I'm going to heaven anyhow. I've been delivered from Christianity. I'm telling you that I do pray that I get in. I am diligently seeking my paths of righteousness. I keep him at the forefront. I don't want to be slaughtered. I do want to go into New Jerusalem. I don't want to experience the lake of fire, Hades, Sheol, or Gehenna. And I really mean that. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Okay. We'll be right back after this commercial break. This is your regular routine. What's different than any other day? You're not even thinking about the fact that there's pain behind the pleasure that you're seeking. The latest episode of Coming to the Stage on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, pornography, behind the scenes, the price of pleasure, contracting STDs, and quitting the industry. On Coming to the Stage, we're covering theater, TV, and film. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. There's a price to pay. Can you afford it? The season of you being prey has come to an end. Family, friend, foe versus your freedom. What are you going to choose? The latest episode of the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Episode 2, Stop Being Weak. We're covering haters in your life. Why are they howling at you? Car chases. Let me out the car. This doesn't taste good. Where's the original recipe? Protecting adulterers. Why are your people scandalous? Rent, utility, and food relief. Learning how to ask for help and people who don't help. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode. Warriors, mount up and be encouraged. Welcome back. You are listening to the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show. I am your host, Sister Speak. I tell it like it is. Definitely rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. This is one of those shows where you will not ever wonder what side I stand on, and that's just it. I'm not here for anything else than that. I'm not afraid of principalities in spiritual wickedness in high places because I'm aware of the fact. I'm aware of them now, and I'm not discrediting anything. But what I'm saying is, I don't give a fuck how much you howl when you're a wolf. You will be slaughtered. There is a silver bullet with your name on it in the spirit. I'm speaking all spiritually. I'm not going to make any apologies for that. I had to do a lot of work to get to where I am. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and say that it can't be done, but I'm not going to make any apologies for where I am either. And even though I may have done it in the past, and I'm not saying anything as far as anything, I'm just saying living a wayward life, regardless. I've been delivered from that. So I'm not going to feel bad about talking about not doing it, even if I've done it before. That's what the enemy is always trying to do, make you feel guilty for the things that you've done. So then when you've been delivered from it and you gain the wisdom from it, you're afraid to go out and speak about it and motivate people not to do it, because the enemy wants you to think and accuse you of what you did and make that spirit of guilt be so heavy and dominate you with that you don't ever get a chance to vibrate out of it, and you don't ever take up your bed and walk, because he would rather have you stay there and be lame when you should be maimed and run. So he says, be lame no more. You ain't supposed to be lame. So the enemy is always going to try to make you feel guilty about what you have done, even though you've been delivered from it. No, you have a right to tell people that they don't have to do A, B, C, and D, even if you used to do A, B, C, and D. The key word is you used to. You've been delivered and you understand the need to vibrate higher. And so you're able to give people everything that they need and relate to them, because you've been there and you've done that. And the enemy would have you not use your experiences as a curriculum for other people. He would rather have you staying in a position to where you are not able to set other captives free. You have to think about it like this. In movies, let's just say somebody's being kidnapped and they're looking for the kidnapped victim. And finally, the person who's seeking the kidnapped victim, they're able to go in. They see that they have the ropes around them, and they're going to go in there and they're going to untie the ropes and take off the duct tape and do whatever they can to free them from the person who has them in captivity, because the position they're in is going to definitely lead to their demise. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If they stay in this position, tied up with the duct tape, in as a kidnapped victim, and I don't do anything about it to untie them, then I could also end up getting killed too. Wasting time instead of going in and say, oh no, I've been here before. I know how to get this knot out. I know how to do this. I know how to tear duct tape off. I know how to do all these type of things in order to make sure I know how to get you out of this. Or am I supposed to be ashamed that I was kidnapped before, or that I was in that position before, and so I ain't gonna do nothing because I don't want nobody looking at me crazy because I'm trying to help you get out of something that I used to be in myself? No ma'am, no sir. Where did they do that at? In the landfill. At that family reunion, that's where they do that at. Don't play with me today. No, you have a right to be delivered, to extract the wisdom, and go and spread the news that but God, that Jesus lives, that you can be set free, that you don't have to do that, that although society is telling you that there's no cure for this, or there's no way that you can come out of this, that's a lie, that the devil is a liar. We are in war right now. We've been in war. Been in war. And no demon through a person has the right to intimidate you, dominate you, and make you walk away from what the Lord told you. And I have a right to speak what he said on any platform that I want to. And you don't have the right to come at me and tell me that I should just ease on down the road, that I should vibrate low because you are enemies of God, and you don't get a connection to God, and because the Lord knows you not, now you want him to know me not because he don't know you. Haters. You lost all your credibility that day. You don't have a right to tell us the true thought processors. You don't have the right to tell us to unthink what our daddy told us. Now you stepping into some real stuff. What you're saying is, we don't care how your daddy raised you. We don't care how you were trained up as a child. We want you to forsake the Most High God and follow us. Is that what you're telling? That's what you're telling us? Is that what you're suggesting to us? That we do that? Because that's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. You don't super rule. Lucy said what he said. You don't do that to your guest. I would never do that to my special guest. You showed who you really are. And we got to see it. Run on, Boosie, run on. You did a good thing. You did a great thing. And we support, we support you. 100%. And all that. Now, Boosie, as I said before, all of this, Boosie, look at, Boosie, keep your eye, look, Boosie, this right here, we're gonna have to stop this. We're gonna have to bring that on down now and protect the energy. When you have a special guest on your show, you have to treat them as such. And what you saw on the Breakfast Club, don't ever in your life do that, or else I'll be on your head too. Now, some of you have platforms, and I just don't give a fuck about your platform because your platform doesn't do anything. It don't move. It doesn't have a purpose. It just vibrates extremely low. So I'm not reaching out to specific people outside of the people who need to hear this. And if you hear it, then so be it. But this is just a word for everybody. Why the fuck are you... Well, excuse me. Why are you in the microphone in the first place? Why are you doing this again? Who told you that you needed to start your own talk show or podcast again? You're vlogging because of what reason again? Oh, yeah, that's not good enough, especially if this is the content that you're putting out. Sometimes people get to a certain point in their life that they're so content and complacent with their plateau, their zenith, that they feel like they can kind of recline. You know, get real lax. You know, unbutton the shirt, loosen up the belt buckle, you know, real kickback vibes. And that's when you end up getting knocked all the way down. At what point will you create content that is content? I don't think we should spend 45 minutes harassing somebody about what the Lord established. And for you to do that lets me know that you've got a dark night of the soul coming. The Nine of Swords. A tower. It's not going to be pretty. Keep playing with God. He ain't a kid. Some of you have gotten beside yourself when it comes to journalism. And we would kindly like for you to get the fuck off the mic. For real, for real. Now, moving forward. As the 12 tribes of Israel, we will always be attacked in some way, shape, or form, whether it be individually or collectively. And if you don't stand for something, you will be slaughtered. Our village is in trouble. Our village is extra sexual. That's a new one, extra sexual. Not even heterosexual, homo, just extra sexual. Just extra sexual. And I understand that an orgasm feels great. But some orgasms are demonic. If that weren't the case, then why did the Lord destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? I know you don't want to talk about it, but we don't care. You don't harass God's children like that and not think that there won't be consequences. Crossing boundaries on the vent session on the Sister Speak show. We'll be right back after this commercial break. You're in love. You never thought your wife would put antifreeze in your drink. You never suspected that your new bride would hire a hitman to kill you. Now you're out for a morning jog and someone is following you. The latest episode of the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts on this episode. Death Will Part Us, Murder for Money, The Black Widow Bride. On the Suspense Files, we're covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Before you go and propose, before you order your bride in the mail, listen to this episode of the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. You just took playing That's My Car to a whole nother level. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, Jackin' for More Than Beats, the effects of GTA and rap music, confessing to crimes over beats, lyrics leading to arrest. On the tour, we're covering all aspects of the music industry, including interviews with musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, and exclusive music and concert reviews. Either you're playing the video game or the video game is playing you. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Brotherhood, sisterhood, leadership. Those are the qualities that you were looking for when you were joining, not humiliation. The latest episode of The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, Death Before Degree, hazing in fraternities and sororities. On The Culture Climate, we're covering what others are afraid to cover in the village, including controversial conversations, taboo subject matters, addressing the inner me's, exposing the enemies, interviews, audio from video clips, international, national, local news affecting the village. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Remember, you don't have to die to belong. Be encouraged. Welcome back. You are listening to the Vent Session on the Sister Speak show. I'm your host, Sister Speak. I know it was heavy. I had to get all that in the way because I just needed to. We're going to transition and then we're going to bring this on home. Brothers and sisters, I know normally I talk about the jobs, that I won't work and things of that nature, and, how, unromantic getaways and things like that. But let me tell you, ever since I started doing the jobs that will fire me, every time I go out, I'm meeting people who are through with their fucking jobs. I'm talking about, I don't know what it is about me that people feel like they can just really sit there and tell me everything. But boy, I went to the gas station and one of the ladies who I love so much, she was pissed off. I'm like, what's wrong? She said, do I have anything on me? I was like, what do you say? What do you mean? Do I have anything on me? I said, like what? She said, SHI. I said, shit. I said, no, I don't see any shit. I don't smell it. She said, I just had to clean the bathroom and there was so much shit in there. I said, I wouldn't have been able to do it, sis. I said, they need to give you a Purple Heart. No, seriously, you need to be Employee of the Decade. No, honestly, no. You should be getting free gas for the next lifetime. Yeah, I don't clean up shit. That bathroom would have had a sign that said out of order on it. Yeah, no, I don't see any shit. I don't smell it. She said, I can't stop smelling shit. See, that's when I need to go home. If every time I breathe in, I smell dookie, I gotta go. I don't want to keep smelling dookie. Who does? Only people who like to smell dookie are dogs, cats, animals, and flies. I'm not any one of those. So I'm not going to be able to. First of all, you don't need to be taking a shit in this bathroom in the first place. If this is what was going to come out of you, you should have taken a shit at the hospital. Actually, you should have taken a shit in the dumpster. I don't know what was keeping you. Should have just actually hopped the curb and ran through these conifers and actually shitted by a tree. No, the coyotes would have probably said, what's happening, bro? I ain't seen you in a long time. What we're not going to do is shit in this bathroom. Now, if you need to urinate, that's fine. But if you need to defecate, then I'm not going to be, I will ask you, your bathroom's working? It depends. It really depends. No, let's talk about it. No, I'm going to close this register. No, you can go to this other line. Come here, sir, because I'm offended that you asked me that. First of all, what do you mean do these bathrooms work? Like, do they have a 9 to 5? Are they a part of a company? Like, what exactly do you mean do they work? And what do they need to work for? Number 1 or number 10? Because some of y'all mother freakers, y'all don't do number 2. You do, it's either 1 or 10, because for some reason this is where you feel you need to let it out at. And it's just like, because you're not defecating at your house, you feel like you can just shit on the walls. They'll clean it. I'll shit right here. No, you won't shit right here. You won't be shitting anywhere near here, as a matter of fact. You can take your part Wolverine ass, part Blanca from Street Fighter ass on somewhere else, because what you're not going to do is shit in here and I got to smell it all day. You want me to do what again? Nah, there ain't no cleanup on aisle 10. You a lie. There's no cleanup on aisle 10 at all. No, our bathrooms don't work. I just saw somebody come out of there. No, you didn't. That was a demon. Those are entities. No, something died in there. What you're seeing is probably the passing of the spirit moving through, but that is not. No. What did you eat that would even make you have such outrage coming from your bottom? That's outrage in there. That's not diarrhea. That's outrage. Yeah, that's outrage. No, that's actually a lot of frustration in there, and I'm not fucking with it. I didn't sign up for this. I'm not emptying these garbage by these gas stations. I'm not doing any of it. I'm ringing up and I'm going home. Okay, I'll stock some candy bars. No problem. But where you start crossing the line, trying to have me be initiated, is when you think I'm going to go in there, throw up and clean up at the same time, because it's going to be throw up, clean up, throw up, clean up, throw up, clean up, throw up, clean up. And then you want to know why the line is so long at the gas station. Well, I'm in here throwing up and cleaning up, and you told me if I didn't clean up, I'd get fired. Seriously, I'm not going to do it. She was so traumatized, y'all. It was the funniest thing. I didn't laugh initially in her face because she was serious as all get out, which you should be about shit. Other people's shit. Fuck yeah, I'm going to be serious about it. I'm going to be mean for the rest of the day. She got an attitude. No, it's called shititude. That's what that is. I have a shitty attitude. And if you would have just seen what I just had to just deal with, you would understand. No, if you pay $5, you can actually go in there and you'll see some animals in this bathroom. No, it's part zoo. No, seriously, it is. It's part zoo. It is. I was appalled that she was appalled. I have just been seeing people say that they are through with their jobs, having to be the only one working because somebody ain't came in. Ain't no telling how long this line gonna be today. I'm gonna be real with you. Sister Speak, why is the line all the way to the freeway? You told me to come in at 5. Which is bullshit off the rip. And then around 8, I got a text that Mary Lou ain't coming in at all. That's why the cars are backed up to Fort Worth. And we're all the way in Duncanville. Damn it. Sister Speak. Yes, I'm going to move at my pace. Look, I do my best. Nothing more, nothing less. You know what? And speaking of nothing more, nothing less, I want to know if this is a trick question. And this is real shit. When I go to use the debit machine, the card machine, and then when I put in it and it says cash back, yes or no, is that a trick question? Because of course I want cash back. Do you want cash back? Are you going to give it to me is this a gift? Do you want cash back? It's like, who, me? Yes or no? Do I want cash back? Yes or no? I definitely want cash back. Who wouldn't? I don't have any cash and you're asking me if I would like cash back. This is a really nice debit machine. It's so kind and thoughtful, knows that I need cash back and is asking me. Now, I hit yes, and then it said unable to authorize a transaction. Now, see, wait a minute. Are you an Indian giver? Did you just ask me if I wanted some cash back? And so when I say yes, now you're saying you're unable to authorize a transaction, so you didn't have any cash to give me cash back? Because this ain't about me. Because you asked me if I wanted some back. You didn't say if I wanted some back from my pot. So I was just assuming. That's a trick question. And another thing, if you really care about the people in the world, this is me at a city council meeting. Yeah, hi. Yeah, hi. This is my first time doing this. So I just want to be real quick. I don't really want to have much to say. Is there any way you all could get in touch with whoever created ATMs and the denominations of the money that comes out? And if you all could just add cents and a dollar, to what we can take out. Yeah, I understand the fees are $2.75. That's another thing I want to talk about. Is there any way, if I'm only going to take out $1.75 from the ATM, that you all could kind of like not have any fees? Because obviously if I'm taking out $1.75, that I'm possibly, I might be going through it. And I just, I don't really want to talk about it. I decided not to do the PPP loan, and as a result of it, I did the righteous thing, and I got about $3.75 in my account, and I just need $1.75, and I'm just kind of wondering if you all could have like a coin slot, so the coins could come out right next to the dollars. So when I go and I select the denominations, I just need to hit $1, and then I need to go over here. I need to hit, it should say 25, 50. 75, and I just want to hit that 75 and then have $1.75 come out. Could y'all please just make ATMs actually give people what they really only need to get out? Kind of like when you go and you say, can I get $2.13 on pump 5? That shit is real in the field. Do people not realize that if you had more to put in your pump, you would? They be looking at me crazy. Either pay that shit forward or mind your fucking business. Put $2.13 on pump 5. That ain't even gonna get you a gallon. First of all, you didn't have to say that out loud. Second of all, you don't know what the fuck it's going to get me because I have hope and I have favor. And I got a stipend on the way. Don't come at me like that. Put $2.13 on pump 5. I'll walk out there with my head high, talking shit about me because I only got $2.13. Nah, these are hard times in America. No, seriously. I just need to get $1.75 out, brothers and sisters. Number 2. These are just random conversations because I'm getting ready to close this on out. Have you ever hit a pothole so hard that it actually gave your car an alignment and you was on your way to NTB and now you ain't got to go because the pothole fixed all of it for you? Have you ever hit a pothole so hard that it changed the radio station? Shit. Have you ever hit a pothole so hard that your hood popped open? Your hood started clapping. Have you ever hit a pothole so hard that your tires said shit? Have you ever hit a pothole so hard that you hope that your tire didn't pop? Have you ever hit a pothole that you didn't see till it was too late? I'm just asking, how are you with your right turns? Have you ever underextended the turn and kind of, did a little 2 wheels off the ground motion? What are your driving skills like? Do you think you were a better driver when you were younger? Or do you think you've improved as you've gotten older? Or have you just always just really not been you really don't even know how the fuck you got your license? It's just still a mystery to everyone. Actually, some of you probably got your license out of a raffle. Okay, we're giving away 2 free licenses this year. And the first winner is Lamonte. And the second winner is Kathy. Y'all didn't see my name in there? Who said that? Sister Speed. Y'all didn't. Okay, just asking. No, seriously. What type of driver are you now? Because me, I used to get tickets when I was younger. I've got a carpool lane ticket before, and driving on a suspended license before. I didn't know it was suspended. Now I didn't find that out till they pulled me over. And honestly, that is what changed my life around when it came to me just being whatever on the road. Right? I was like, damn, I did not know my license was suspended. What you mean? What did it do? Was my license fighting in school again? How did my license get suspended? Oh, how come y'all didn't call me? I could have showed up for the parent-teacher conference. Look at my license getting suspended. Just a bad license. I'm going to put my license in continuation school. No, seriously, I didn't know until they put me over. I was like, damn it, y'all going to really tow the car too? It was a rough day. I got to say it was a bad day. But that was that really catapulted me and was the catalyst to when I just said, you know what, I got to get my shit together because I can't. That was really rock bottom for me as far as driving was concerned, outside of getting into a really, really bad car accident, which was not my fault. Got hit from behind at 80 miles per hour. But my point is just that I didn't know. And once I found out why my license had been suspended, it was from an old ticket from going to a party for running a red light. It's not funny. It's really not. I'm just saying. That's just what it was. I was negligent and I didn't pay my ticket and the shit caught up with me. And I went and I cleared my ticket and it was crazy because I had to go way out where the offense was to clear my ticket. And it was a room full of people. When I tell y'all with so many people, and I was like, shit. But it was what it was. I was really changing and I did not want to vibrate like that anymore. And so literally, you had to get up and speak on the microphone, admit your guilt or innocence or plead, or no contest, and then explain why you're in the fucked up position that you're in now. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm minding my business and everything, and I'm listening to everybody say their thing, and then he calls my name. Oh, shit. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I got up there. He was like, such and such and such and such and blah, 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 blah. And I told him straight up, I said, sir, I'm going to be real with you. I was negligent at the time. I was not living my life in the right way. And I got the ticket and I just failed to pay it. and really on purpose, because I just was not being responsible. But my life is changing, and I realize that if I expect to have good things come my way, that I can't continue to be negligent with the past. And then somebody in there smirked. I said, don't be a hater. I sure did say that when I was walking out, and did nobody say anything to me. And I'm talking about, it was a room full of people in Cali, and Cali is with the shit. So, it was what it was, because when you want to change, you're going to do everything you can to get your freedom. That's just real talk. Emancipation feels good when you finally realize how low you've been vibrating and how you've been an enemy of the Most High. Like, these epiphanies come. So, getting back to it, how many tickets do you have right now that need to be paid? It's the worst feeling when you get pulled over. It really is. All of that whole everything is just one long day. I'm serious about that, brothers and sisters. Because the time has been well spent, I'm going to leave it right here. I thank you all so much for listening to the vent session. I, of course, can record at any time that I want to, but with this one in particular, I'm going to leave it right there. Today's main focus on the vent session was about boundaries, establishing your boundaries and not crossing boundaries. It is about reclaiming your power and being victorious in the battle. It's following the commands in the battle. And it's reclaiming your position, because no one has the right to dominate you outside of the Most High God. No one has the right to super rule you outside of the Most High God. You do not have to be the recipient of abuse, whether it be emotional, financial, spiritual, or physical. You don't have to go through that. And you do not have to let people, because of their status or position in your life, dominate you and make you do things that will have you missing out on what you were called to do. Because there are people who will try to jack your joy, to abolish your assignment, and to add kryptonite to your circumstances so you can never get to these places. That's not what we want. So establish your boundaries, recognize what boundaries are. Put yourself in a position to where you can reflect in a healthy manner on areas of your life that need change. So when I say reflect on a healthy manner, meaning no matter what has happened, you may go back into the past and some things can trigger you. So I want you to stay in a place to where you're not triggered anymore by these events that led up to why you're being dominated and why people are crossing your boundaries. It's not to trigger you. It is for you to raise awareness within yourself so you can do something about it, because we don't want you to take the baton and carry on the curse. It's also about, in media, respecting boundaries and making your guests feel comfortable. It's about standing on the truth and not letting any principality or entity bully you or perform a ritual on you to make you walk away from thus saith the Most High. And then for a brief session, gas station woes and blues, and getting tickets, right? Cleaning things up. Just a little bit of humor, but the vent session was more on a serious note. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, usually we hear the serious at the end and the funny at the beginning. Look, I had to let it flow how it needed to flow. That's just what it is. But I do want you to walk away knowing this, because you do have to have your word of encouragement. So allow me to just quickly meditate so I can hone in on a common thought for you. Okay. It ended because it had to. It ended because it needed to. You weren't expecting it to end, but it needed to. And the Lord knew that it needed to. So he orchestrated the circumstances so it would. And now you are fretting because you don't know what's going to happen next. And I hear surprise. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing surprise. A good surprise. It had to end. Stop holding on to it. Allow yourself to go through the motions, but don't allow the motions to go through you. It hurt. You weren't expecting it, of course. It blindsided you. Curveball, if you will. There was an earthquake in your life, a tsunami, a hurricane, a monsoon, and you were caught off guard and you didn't have what you needed to protect yourself from the elements, from the natural disaster. And so it kind of swept you away a little bit to where you became kind of withdrawn. And nobody really understands what you're going through. And that's because you keep harping on it. You won't let it end even though it's over. You are afraid of what's next. Surprise is what's next. You had to let it go, and you didn't know how to. That candy, it looked like a blow pop. Yeah, I know. You were just trying to get to the gum. But it's laced. And the Lord had to take that candy out of your hand. He had to snatch it out of your hand. Whatever that candy was, let it resonate. And as a result, you started crying and throwing a temper tantrum because you wanted the candy. It tastes so good, but it wasn't good for you. It was going to kill you. And so he had to snatch it out of your hands. And whenever anything is snatched from you, it doesn't feel good. It's a rapid motion, and sometimes there may be some type of friction and some pain as a result of how it is snatched from you, but it had to be snatched from you. He changes the seasons because he knows what he's doing. And he's watching you, and he knows that you are suffering unnecessarily because it had to end. You had to let it go. He had to take it away from you so you could see where you really were. And the moment that you finally accept why it had to happen, you will then realize that ending had to happen in order for a new beginning. Be encouraged. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God, my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Blessed be the name of the Most High God. I'm divinely protected. And so is my listening audience. We return to sender all negative energy, all demonic energy, all satanic energy. We reverse all curses, voodoo, hexes, witchcraft. It is mirrored into your bosom. It has an adverse effect immediately in your bosom. 20-fold. Warriors, come on, mount up.